Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. What if Goku was an elite Saiyan? On planet Vegeta, Bardock would see his son for the first time. The doctors were shocked. He was born with a high power level, that of over 600, which was the same as Prince Vegeta's power level when he was an infant 12. Once the scientists found out about it, King Vegeta would make his way, striving to destroy the child, not wanting a mid-class trash to rival his own son. Bardock would interject, as Bardock was still a little wounded from fighting before, but he was recovered enough. Two Saiyans would then bicker back and forth, but it would then turn into a fight. Once the fighting would begin, Gine would then take Kakarot away into a space pod, as Bardock lands a strong punch, making the king bleed. Shock him, as a Saiyan has this much power. Now Bardock hates the Vegeta royal line, he hates the higher-ups. He hates the fact that they all live a lavish life and they don't understand what a real fight is like anymore. Unlike Bardock, who pushes his limits all the time, fighting to survive. He would use his Ki Blast, blowing King Vegeta back. As the king begins to overpower the Saiyan, putting his foot on his head, stomping him to the ground, he would then charge up a Ki Blast at his head, stating that a mid-class could not match the king. Bardock would then begin having flashes of Kakarot fighting Frieza, and a strange golden glow. Not let him fail. He would then change the future, as he would then yell and kick out from under him, and he would use his Saiyan spirit and charge a Ki Fist, punch through the chest. The other Saiyans arrived, seeing what's happened. None of them step up to fight. Bardock would then tell them that they must hold off Frieza. He asked if they wished to join. These group of Saiyans would then nod, as at the top of the planet Vegeta, they would then meet Frieza and his men. The Saiyans have already thrown a fake moon, become a great ape. It was the one last stand. Frieza was not having his day ruined by a bunch of monkeys. He would then charge up a massive supernova attack, plunging it at the Saiyans. A massive group of Saiyans would then fire a mouth beam, holding the supernova back. The Saiyans would then use all their powers, as they would launch right back towards Frieza, hitting him head on, destroying the ship and all the people around. The Saiyans would revert back, they were exhausted. Frieza would then stand there, second form, smirking, then state that was very impressive. He never thought that monkeys could be that powerful teaming up. Frieza would then fly in and headbutt Bardock first, stabbing into his side. Bardock would then fall all the way back down to the planet Vegeta. Gine would then help Bardock up. Frieza makes this really personal. Instead of destroying the whole planet in a fireworks show, he'll do that right afterward. Because of the fact that they destroyed his ship, and they also technically did hurt him a little bit before he could transform, he's going to make them suffer before he takes the ship and he blows it up. He would then begin personally killing all the Saiyans himself, slaughtering thousands of Saiyans, making sure that none are escaping. But then, it would cut to planet Vegeta exploding shortly after. Massive explosion. Frieza was floating in space before his men would then pick him up. As Frieza was now back in his first form, with new armor, having a big smile on his face, it was tons of fun to do it himself. It's been a very long time since he's even transformed, so it felt really nice having to cut loose every now and again. Cutting forward, Goku would still arrive on planet Earth, and he would then still meet Grandpa Gohan. Goku would still hit his head like the original, making the boy kind and gentle. Grandpa Gohan would raise him for years, teaching him martial arts and survival skills. Once when Goku turns into a great ape, he would sadly kill his grandfather. But once when Goku looks down, seeing him gone, it would make Goku begin to control the great ape form. For that night, the planet Earth is not destroyed. Bringing the guilt to Goku during the years, every single month, he'd begin to start learning how to control it. Having the power to tap into it each month during the full moon, Goku would begin to learn how to control his power for himself. Now Bulma would appear just like before, and Goku would still go off with Bulma to find the other Dragon Balls. Roshi, who would then meet later on, after helping the turtle find water, would be utterly shocked. He would sense the boy's power. He was shocked as he's never sensed someone so powerful before. The only difference to this story is that Goku is much stronger, being able to defeat any threat. Yamcha or any bandits would be dealt with. And if Goku was captured by the Pilaf gang in the original, he would have turned to Great Ape and he would know how to control it. Be freed anyways. or he could have just freed himself being way strong enough. Once learning under Roshi and his new rivals like Krillin, he would be far stronger than Roshi ever was. So Roshi and Goku not so much strength training, but more martial arts and more control of the mind. How to train smart. Goku having amazing potential will quickly tap on. People forget Goku in the original is a prodigy to adapt and learn how to gain power. People like Vegeta, who has a much higher potential than Goku does, aka Plot, can surpass him easily. But Vegeta has never learned how to have a mindset like Goku, and it holds him back. A simple showcase was when Vegeta learned how to do the instant transmission near instantly on his first try, when it took Goku an entire year to do so. Now during the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, after 7 months later, Goku would easily defeat all the threats in his way. Now he would still have his tail, and Roshi would never destroy the moon. Even if Goku did look at it, he didn't need to, overkill, Goku would have still won. Fortunately, even with Roshi's buff form, he would have no chance against that version of Goku. But Roshi would still hold his own because he's a genius still, but unfortunately, skills only go so far against raw speed and power. But now Goku would then spend all of his money on a food buffet that night, and for this, the adventures of Dragon Ball would go very similar for Goku. Red Ribbon Army would end much faster with Goku being far too strong for anyway. Now during the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku would easily defeat Tien and win for the second time in a row. Now during the Demon King Piccolo arc, Krillin would still die like before. Goku in his anger would find Demon King Piccolo. His anger is like it was never seen before. As flashing of Krillin goes through his mind, Goku's pupils will then vanish. As his hair rises and a yellow aura surrounds him, Goku would then turn into a false Super Saiyan. As his current state and base form with training, Goku has grown beings like Prince Vegeta at his age at a power level of 10,000 higher. But remember, he had very strong people to train with on planet Vegeta. Goku was on a weak planet to his surroundings, but he still had a power level of 3,000. Adding false Super Saiyan, which can be estimated to be around 25 times or higher, will make his new power level 75,000. He would in one swoop punch right through the Demon King Piccolo, but the power will completely drain Goku, knocking the Saiyan out cold. As Piccolo, with his last dying breath, would still spit out an egg, Piccolo Jr., and he would explode like the original. Now, he never wished for his youth this time, so Krillin was still brought back. Now, they don't know what power Goku had. For a second, it was gone. Now, Roshi keeps that power in mind. Goku had a true monster hidden, a beast within him, crackling his real power. Reveal itself one day. Goku would still meet Roshi's teacher Korin. Under learning, he would be able to reach Kami and Popo the same way. Now, Kami didn't know of Goku's power, but he wanted the Saiyan to find his journey to him first. Now, over the next 3 years, he is going to help the Saiyan learn how to control his raging power, or the best of his ability. Over the next 3 years, he will begin training hard for the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, the events will go very similar with Goku meeting friends and meeting Piccolo Jr. for the first time and Chi-Chi. Goku would have still befriended Chi-Chi the exact same, and Goku's still a bit goofy and think that marriage was some kind of food. So you need to understand that Goku would really change his mindset on that, and he would still marry Chi-Chi. Sorry fans. Goku here would still fight Tien, but he would not need to take off any weighted clothing. Now his weighted clothing is actually a lot higher. Cutting forward, this is when Goku would then battle Piccolo Jr. Goku battling Piccolo. Piccolo has no chance, unfortunately. He does have a higher motivation because he knows how strong the Saiyan was, but he trained harder, having a power level instead of 300, having maybe 400 or even 500, would be nothing against Goku. Goku by this point has grown massively in power. Now at his full adult stage, Goku has been training under Kami and even went in the Room of Spirit and Time for a short period, who has grown much stronger. Goku by this point, you can throw out there that Goku might have gotten 2 to 3 times stronger. If that was the case, then you can throw Goku at the same power level he was during the arc, putting him at around 8,000. But why isn't Goku stronger? Well, it's because Goku doesn't really have any opponents to push him forward. If Goku had strong people to train around and any big motivation environment that he was in, he would basically be way stronger than Vegeta. But we'll get to Goku's real potential when he begins training under King Kai in the far future. Now 5 years would still pass. Goku would still spare Piccolo, as he knows if Piccolo dies, Kami dies as well, and there's no Dragon Balls. Goku would still be raising Gohan with Chi-Chi. Now, what about Gohan's potentials? Goku is an Elite Saiyan. Is Gohan's potential higher? I'm going to throw out there that yes, it is. Gohan's potential is a little bit higher than it originally already brokenly was. Now, this doesn't really change much, unfortunately, for the start, because Chi-Chi kept Gohan being a bookworm, so his power level didn't really change until later on. Now, 5 years has passed since then. Raditz would still leave as he explained that, oh, there was a thing about how brother had a very high battle power of around 600. Now, Vegeta wouldn't believe that, as he thinks that that has to be a fake. There's no way someone is that strong. Remember, that was not really passed around much. Only a few scientists knew about it, and Bardock and King Vegeta and Gine knew about it. That's about it. Vegeta was never known, nor Nappa, or anything else. But even if that was a power level that Raditz specifies that was the original output, they would not believe it. They think there's no way. Now, why was he sent to Earth? It's such a weak planet. That doesn't make any sense. So it has to be just a mix. Raditz either way would still go to planet Earth, and he would meet Goku on Kami's beach. Now, this is when you're going to have to add in how strong Goku has become. Raditz would try to take Gohan, which Goku has already refused his offer of joining him, and Raditz already explained who he was, the Saiyans, all the same scenes before. Now, once when he tries to actually take Gohan, try hitting Goku in the stomach, Goku would actually block it with both of his hands, and he would actually deliver a powerful kick to Raditz's stomach, launching the Saiyan back into the water. He would then tell them to take Gohan and get away from here, as Roshi was going to help, but Roshi's backing out. Goku needs to handle this on his own. Raditz was shocked, as he tapped his scouter earlier. Kakarot only had a power level of around 500, which is meh for this planet, but oh, there's no way. That kick was much more force than he ever fought, as it already cracked his armor. Now, Piccolo was also right next to them, watching, but he was not interfering yet. To see what the Saiyans can do. Kind of watching. Goku would then tell Raditz that he'll fight him, but not right here. There are some islands nearby, let's go over there. Raditz would understand, as Raditz is not going to turn down a fight. They would then fly off and land. Raditz would then tell him that he's kind of trying to figure out something. Goku would ask why. Raditz would explain that there's no way he was able to land such a powerful kick like that, especially with the power level of 500. What did he do? Goku would then smirk, and he would then tell Raditz that they have a way of concealing power here, so he's holding back. Raditz would then laugh and say, even if you hold back a tenth of your power, it wouldn't even defeat me. Raditz would then tell him that you're insulting me by holding back. Show me your true power, Kakarot. Goku would then smirk, and he'd begin powering up. Goku's never fought somebody as strong as Raditz before. The strongest opponent he's ever seen so far. It actually gets Goku excited. Goku would begin powering up, massively increasing his power level to around 9,000. Raditz would then yell 9,000 in shock, as listening on the intercoms was Vegeta and Nappa. That would make them very nervous, as Vegeta and Nappa would already set course to start heading their way there. Now, Raditz would be terrified, but he thinks that his scouter is broken, as there's no way that strong. Raditz would then try to attack Goku. Sunday at him, Goku would block the attack easily and deliver another powerful punch to Raditz. He would then charge up a Kamehameha, firing it at Raditz, nearly killing the Saiyan, but Goku would keep him barely alive. Raditz would begin crawling away as he would summon his space pod. Goku would let him go, as he would then offer him mercy. Then, Piccolo arrived. Piccolo would then stand right next to Raditz's body, would then look to Goku and state that you're as soft as he ever thought. Piccolo then extended his hand and fired a massive blast which hit Raditz through his chest, killing him. Goku was furious and told Piccolo, why did he do that? You're as ruthless as ever, I gave you a chance to survive. Piccolo would then laugh and state, well, you're far too soft. That Saiyan would have came back, he could have maybe brought more friends. Do you really think that he's the only one there? Bulma would then now have the scouter. She would then pick up that Vegeta and Nappa are heading their way toward Earth, but they don't know what time or when, but they do know that somebody named Vegeta and Nappa are coming. Goku would then meet up with Kami and ask them if they can use the room time. Kami unfortunately says that it's under repair and that it's not being able to be used. He does have an option for Goku. There's a teacher that he knows that is able to help him. It is a very treacherous journey, and it was under the Snake Way. Goku would then arrive to see King Yemma, who why they brought somebody here that's alive. It doesn't really make any sense. Kami would then plead with King Yemma and tell him if they don't, these Saiyans would then kill thousands and millions to billions of people. Does he really want that on his resume and books right now? Yemma would then sweat and say, no, let the Saiyan come through, let him come through. This is when Goku would then nod at Kami, and he would then run down Snake Way. Now, Goku can fly by this point, being strong enough. Goku would then fly all the way down to Snake Way. He would actually arrive there much quicker, as he would be able to arrive there within a few short days. Now, Goku by this point was nearly starving to death. Now, he would be eating the clouds, and it wasn't that bad. He would also meet Princess Snake, and Goku would actually be able to eat a lot of food. And once when he defeats Princess Snake, he would actually be able to take a lot of food with him, as much as he can carry in a bag. And he would carry that with him down Snake Way to kind of ration himself. But it was torture. Goku would rather do training for the rest of his life, the most grueling, rigorous battle, the death, than to be starved of food. Now meeting the great King Kai, this is when King Kai would then tell Goku that you need to say a joke for me to be able to train you. Goku said the joke just like before. Have a nice week, I'll see you next fall. Something like that. This is when King Kai would then laugh and he'll begin training Goku, teaching him the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb technique. Goku would quickly adapt to gravity a lot faster than he did before, being able to catch Bubbles and Gregory quicker. Now, Goku here will be able to learn the Kaioken technique a lot quicker, alongside with the Spirit Bomb, because Goku has a higher potential, and on top of his prodigy skills, he would be able to learn things much faster. This would also give Goku more time to actually train intensively, as King Kai would add weights to Goku's arms and legs like we saw in the other world. Now, we don't know if King Kai can change the weights, but Goku originally had them on in the first place. So it would make sense that King Kai can do it, or at least all the Kais can. Now, this is when Goku is using those weights, training, using Kaioken ×2 a lot, trying to get his body used to it, trying to learn how to master it. Now, Goku would continue increasing the weight of the clothing on him, and this would only make him get stronger and stronger. Now, once when Vegeta and Nappa do arrive, Goku would then leave, not wasting any time. He would then fly all the way back down to Snake Bay, and Goku was still a few hours late. As this took longer than expected, as now, because Vegeta and Nappa, they left a little earlier. And once when they arrived here a little bit quicker, Goku was still about an hour late. Being an hour late, fortunately a few of the Z Fighters have died. The only people that were left were Krillin and Gohan. Now, Gohan is a little bit stronger than he originally was, but unfortunately against Nappa and Vegeta, he's not there just yet. Goku would arrive, and he was furious to see what has happened to all of his friends. Even Piccolo's gone too. That only increases his anger more, because without it, not even the Dragon Balls will be able to help. Now, how strong is this version of Goku? Well, we know that Goku originally got around 18.8 times stronger. But in reality, if Goku has a much higher potential, I'm just going to increase it to around 30 times, which is already busted as is. Goku getting 30 times stronger, this means that his new power level is 270,000, which is absolutely absurd. This means that Vegeta and Nappa have no chance. Goku would then begin to overpower Vegeta and Nappa easily. He could fight both of them at the same time. Nappa was taken out first, breaking his back. Vegeta was too furious to kill Nappa this time, but Nappa was already killed by Goku by breaking his spine. Vegeta by this point was running out of options. He can't throw a fake moon because Goku still has his tail. Now he wonders, how is a Saiyan this powerful? It makes no sense. Now a gun, firing his own attacks, unfortunately Goku would easily deflect them without much of a struggle at all. Goku has grown far too powerful. Goku being around nearly half the power of Frieza, getting there, that's still really broken. He can pretty much tank the whole Ginyu Force if he wanted to. The only person he would lose against now is Frieza. Frieza will mop the floor with him. This is when Vegeta was now on a losing end. He knows that he needs to just get out of here. Now, Nappa was already dead by this point, so Vegeta would just get out. Goku would let him go. Now, Krillin was shocked as to why, but Goku explains that we need to show him mercy, as maybe he can learn from this and fly away. Vegeta was now gone, as Vegeta would then head back to the planet to begin healing just like before. Now, Frieza is already making his way towards Planet Namek a little bit later to find Dragon Balls. just like the original timeline. Now, with this being said, Goku was not gravely wounded, so he would not be stuck trying to basically wait forever or over a week to heal and get a senzu bean. Now, they would then bury all their friends, and this is when Goku, Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma then all get into the spaceship about a couple of days later, once when they're all healed, and they would then be able to then fly to Namek. Goku now being there a week early does change some things. With Goku being there about a week early, he knows that Frieza's the big dog, but first they need to secure the Dragon Balls first. So, Goku would then be able to jump around and run, would be able to find a couple of Dragon Balls, as it was now basically chasing the chicken, trying to get all the Dragon Balls in time. Now, the Namekians were very thankful of Goku being able to help them. Now, this is when they would then meet Dende, just like before, and this is when Goku would meet Frieza for the first time. Now, Frieza was trying to basically interrogate the Namekians to get the Dragon Balls, killing them left and right. Goku would actually kick the Doria and Zarbon away, arriving to see Doria and Zarbon would then get back up, as Doria and Zarbon would then team up, attacking Goku, but he was far too strong, defeating them by neck chopping them, knocking them out, but not killing them. Frieza would then get out of his chair, as that Saiyan seems very familiar, remembers him. He must be an offspring of some kind of the Saiyan who stood before him before. It makes a lot of sense. Now, Vegeta is nearby, as he's already broken into Frieza's ship, collecting the other Dragon Balls, but now he can see some power going on. Vegeta doesn't need a scouter, he can sense two massive powers. He wonders if that's Kakarot and Frieza fighting. Good, let them kill each other while he becomes immortal. This is Vegeta's perfect plan. Now, Frieza would then commend the Saiyan on his power. It's really impressive. Now, this is when Frieza would then begin powering up and attack Goku head on. Base form Goku was being overpowered by Frieza. Now, Goku did do some slight training on the ship, but he only could do mental. But you could see that Goku maybe got to like 270, he went up to like 300, but other than that, it didn't really change much. Unfortunately, he would need Kaioken. Bursting into Kaioken times 2, he would overpower first form Frieza. Now, Frieza would then go into his second form, stating that his offspring slash father was the only other Saiyan that ever made him revert to the second form, and he would have to commend the Saiyan on that. He would then offer Goku to join him. The fact that he has 3 other transformations than this one, that could even increase his power. And by 3, I'm also adding his 100% form as well. I don't know. But technically he has 2 more. But we know that Frieza has 2 more, plus an extra, plus if you want to add 100%, another transformation on top of him. Goku would say that he's bluffing, there's no way someone is that strong. Goku would then revert to try to use Kaioken times 10, boosting his power level to 3 million. He would then overpower second form Frieza. Now, second form Frieza would then transform into his final form, and it would then go downhill from there. Goku was getting death beamed like crazy, and he was nearly killed. Gohan, watching his father nearly be killed, would then go into a spite of rage. He would then attack Frieza, holding him back. Now, this is when Krillin would then pull Goku away with Dende's help. This is when Goku was then healed by Dende. As they were hidden, Gohan was able to hide under the water as Frieza was trying to search for him. Since Frieza was irritated, that little brat definitely had some power packed behind him, but it wasn't enough to harm him. It just irritated him. Now, Vegeta was watching all this go on. As he was not getting involved with it, he knows that the Dragon Balls didn't work. Now, what do I mean by this? As there's only one Dragon Ball left, held by Elder Guru, and Nail was protecting it. So, Vegeta can't find it, he doesn't know where it is, but only Dende's the one that knows. Now, Goku, after being healed, we know that in the original, he got a 33 times boost to his power. So if you want to follow the same kind of scaling, his new power level will basically be around 9,990,000. We're going to even up to 10 million. Now, Goku here now being full of power again, he would then look at Frieza as he wants to try something that he hasn't done before. Goku has been working on this power for years, but he never felt like he was strong enough to be able to hold the power, nor has he had somebody to try this on. Goku would then look at his new power, as he would then battle Frieza first, in his base form getting used to his new strength. Goku was amazed how strong he's become, same with Frieza, and Vegeta was the most shocked. His power level skyrocketed so high from such a short Zenkai. Vegeta wonders that that little Namekian can heal people from various wounds. This is when Goku would then tell Frieza that he's the only person to be able to see this form. other than one other person, Kami. It then cuts to Goku, who was then back in the hyperbolic time chamber, training with Kami. Kami personally saw fit to be with Goku, as Popo would then make sure to be outside in case anything happens. Kami would then tell Goku to control the raid, use it as a need, not as a want. Now this is when Goku would then tap into Super Saiyan as a young kid. But the power was so much on his body, it was very taxing, he would then jump out of the form, like what happened to Gohan when he first got it. Kami then states that you need to fully mature and become stronger mentally. Once when you get there, you will become unbeatable. Now that Goku has finally reached that plateau in power, Goku would then begin to transform, shocking Frieza. As now that Goku is all powered up, he would then scream, bulking up in size, he would then transform into a Super Saiyan. Power level by this point is around 500 million. He would then waste no time, as he would then offer Frieza one chance to leave the planet and never return. Frieza would of course never accept this. Frieza would then try throwing a death ball right at Goku. Goku would then charge up a Kamehameha, firing it right at Frieza and completely obliterating the Emperor of the universe. Frieza unfortunately left Goku no choice, because he almost destroyed the whole planet with all the innocent people on it. Goku did not have a choice here. Also, he's not very good at controlling the Super Saiyan form yet. It makes him a bit more crazy. But Goku's basically not as forgiving as a Super Saiyan state. Goku would then calm himself, powering down, as Vegeta would ask him, how did he do that? How did an elite level Saiyan like Kakarot he was able to get the Super Saiyan power of legend? How? Goku then states he doesn't know. He was a kid when it happened. Now, this is when they would then bring the rest of the Dragon Balls all to Elder Guru, who, with the help of Nail, would then summon the dragon, and Vegeta would stay out of the way, since he knows that there's nothing that he can do. They have to speak in the Namekian tongue anyway. They would then wish for all the Namekians to come back, and they would also wish for everybody killed by the Saiyans before to be brought back too. Now, this would then bring back the Dragon Balls as well, alongside with all the other Z Fighters were brought back, so all things were fixed. Once when that was all said and done, they would then use the Namekian Dragon Balls for the last wish to bring the Earthlings and Saiyans all the way back home. But before they do, Elder Guru does need to ask. He would then go up to Goku, or Goku would go up to him, and he would then help Goku unlock a little bit more of his potential. This would make Goku a little bit stronger, around 20 million instead of 10, and he would do the same thing for Krillin, Gohan. Goku would even ask Elder Guru if he can do it for Vegeta. Guru was not really wanting to do this, but the prince, why not? Vegeta was then given plot advice, as he was then having his potential unlocked too, becoming a lot stronger. He could now fight Captain Ginyu and throw hands with him if he wanted to. It would then all be transported back to Earth, as Vegeta had nowhere else to go. His whole reason for killing Frieza was over. He does want to learn about the Super Saiyan as much as possible, but for now he'll stay with Bulma and the others, and that same romance would follow. Now that there was peace, a young man in a time machine would then be arriving, trying to look to change the future against the fateful android. After the defeat of Frieza, peace was finally restored back to the whole entire universe. Shortly afterwards, Vegeta would then leave on his own, as Vegeta is going on his own path to find his own power. Bulma was very concerned though, as she was worried about Vegeta's health and safety. So, over the next couple of months, there would have been peace and quiet, as no one really questioned why Vegeta would have left. But now Bulma would then meet up with Goku, telling him that, listen, she's worried about Vegeta. She would go herself, but she's afraid to, and she can't leave for business. So she asked Goku to go find him. Maybe Goku's the only one that can kind of persuade Vegeta, nobody else could. Goku was kind of like, I don't want to go, but he decides to. If Vegeta needs his help, he will go help him. Goku would then get in one of the spaceships that Bulma has, and he would then fly off. It was another replica of the same one that Vegeta took. Now, following Vegeta's last coordinates, Goku would begin traveling for the next few days. It would then turn into a week of traveling. Goku would then finally land on a strange meteor, as it was almost the size of a planet, but not fully there. Goku would then see that Vegeta's spaceship was there, but it was destroyed. Goku would then look around, and he couldn't sense Vegeta's power at all. He feared the worst, of Vegeta dying. Then look around, but he doesn't see anything of dead bodies or nothing. He doesn't see anything. But what he does see is that there was landing marks, that other 3 ships have landed and picked something up. Goku could just feel that something happened. Goku would then try looking around, seeing if something else could help. He was really confused. Goku's not the smartest tool in the shed. But he would then ask Bulma, who would have a camera and follow him. He would then explain that somebody must have arrived and grabbed Vegeta, because laying on the ground was a body imprint on the dust of the ground, and there was blood on it. And Goku could just kind of tell that, okay, this must be Vegeta. Maybe he was hurt, or somebody attacked him maybe. He doesn't know. Goku would then leave, and he would then try searching for Vegeta's power the best he could, maybe trying to find a way. Goku began bouncing around planet to planet. Most of them were uninhabited, a few of them were, but they were just odd creatures and whatnot. Goku would then begin going around more. He couldn't find him, until Goku would then arrive on a strange planet that was far off. The planet was heavily gassed and was heavily dangerous. He would then land and look out. It was known as Planet Vampa. Goku would then begin looking around, as he was really confused about the fact of where he was. This planet was very plain and very, very dirty, but he can sense a lot of power hidden in here. He can feel it. He doesn't really know where, as it's moving around. Goku would then begin walking around. Then a massive creature would then fly out. This creature was massive, almost worm-like with fur, and the face of like a cat or a dog, known as Ba. Ba was missing a part of his ear, as he would then try biting Goku, which Goku would then dodge the attacks. Goku would then kick him right in the face, and it would knock the creature over, as the creature would then recoil away. Goku wasn't trying to hurt it, as it was just defending itself. But then a massive power would then fly in, and it would then hit Goku full force. Goku would then be launched all the way back, hitting through a few pillars, as it was Broly. Broly was mad that Goku would hurt Ba, as Ba was not his friend for a long time, although Ba was his only friend. Recently, ever since Paragus shot his ear off, Ba ever since then has been really aggressive, but Broly has been able to kind of been near Ba. Remembers him. He's not going to have somebody attacking him. Goku would then get up, and he was shocked to see that it was maybe another Saiyan maybe? He doesn't know. He would then get into a fighting stance, as then somebody would then stop. Goku would then turn around, and he would see and walk up, and it was Paragus. This would then tell Goku he apologized for attacking him, but Broly's very fond of that creature. Goku says, "Who are you?" And Paragus says, "My name, Paragus." And then he would then look at Goku again, kind of glancing at him. He would then tell him, "That you, Bardock? No, that can't be you. The scar on your face is not even there. Are you an offspring?" Goku would be confused, asking what does he mean. Paragus would then put a finger to his chin. He's like, "No, that's impossible. Bardock just left a little bit ago." And then Paragus would then tell Goku to come with him immediately. As Broly would then be right behind them, Goku was more surprised with how strong Broly was. Paragus was meh, he was kind of mediocre, but Broly, he's never been hit that hard by something. It was even stronger than Frieza for that split moment. They would then arrive, and it was almost like a lab area. It was almost like a living quarters. It was domed off, having some scenery and some small plants, but not much, as it seemed like people had been living here for years. Goku would then look around and be very confused. Goku would then see more Saiyans. Some of them were children as well. They would then run up to Goku, seeing his tail. They would then be surprised that it was another Saiyan, and he looks just like Bardock. Goku doesn't know who this Bardock is, but it seems like he looks like him, offspring. And then some of these older Saiyans, a little bit older of age, but you can't tell since they don't age till they're 80, they would then be surprised, and they instantly thought that this was Bardock for just a split moment. But then it clicks in their head, as this is not Bardock. That has to be Kakarot. Goku was surprised, as only Vegeta and Raditz, one guy, has ever called him that name. He doesn't get it. As then, out from the bushes, or you could say from the door, be a man who would then walk out. His name was Bardock. Back on planet Vegeta, Bardock and a crew of the Saiyans actually survived Frieza's onslaught. Bardock would then look in shock. As shock, but then realization. As Bardock has had visions about potentially meeting his son, but he didn't know that it would happen this soon. He thought maybe it was in the afterlife or one other day. Bardock would then put his hand out, grab his son, hugging him for the first time. Goku was completely confused, doesn't know why this guy that looks like him's hugging him. Bardock would then tell him who he is, that he's his father. Bardock would then tell his son to please come in, please. Bardock would explain that once when they all stood up to Frieza all those years ago in their Great Ape state, they were able to push back the supernova and turn into a second form of time. But unfortunately, the power that Frieza threw back launched them all back to the planet, but they were able just in time. Frieza would then fly in to try and destroy all the spaceships before some would then fly off. I was able to escape with Gine and 2 other Saiyans. A few other Saiyans were able to escape as well. There were 12 of us Saiyans total, and more, that were able to escape. All lucky to be able to make it. All of us would then fly all the way to a random planet, not know where we're going. That was over 25 years ago. Now we're here. He knew that he survived. Bardock would then explain that the rest of the Saiyan Empire is dead. All of it's gone. It went into hiding because I knew that I could see things from the future. I was given a curse almost by this alien species that I dominated years ago. They gave me the power to see into the future, foresight in a way. And I was able to see that you defeated Frieza, and I did not want to tamper with that history. I knew that we had to stay hidden, keep it all quiet. Goku was in amazement. He never thought all these Saiyans were all around him. He felt almost at home. He asked, well, how are they able to survive? That planet was very barren. Bardock said it was hell at first. All these bug creatures and the giant furry monsters were all around. They then met Paragus and Broly. They were already on planet Vegeta by this point, and they already landed. They were surviving. Time, we did venture out, but only I was able to. I was able to conceal my power level. The other Saiyans were not able to yet. I was able to sneak around and be able to collect things here and there that were left in storage on other planets by Frieza. No one gave it a second thought. Because of the fact that since Saiyans were completely destroyed, those were the soldiers of the army, and Frieza had to find more soldiers, so they were too occupied. I was able to sneak in and take a lot of storage containers and other survival items and bring it back to Planet Vampa without nobody noticing. Whereas Goku was pretty much in sensory overload. Everything was happening around him so quickly. Bardock would then grab his shoulder, and he was so proud of his son. He can sense how strong Goku is, and the fact that he knew that he defeated Frieza. Felt it. As soon as Goku smited down Frieza, Bardock felt the jolt of power hit him. He knew that Goku became the legendary Super Saiyan and stopped Frieza. Bardock says that there's somebody that wants to see you. Goku was confused as in the door would open, and it was Gine, Goku's mother. She survived, as she was one of the only other ones that left with Bardock in that time. Tears would then well up as she would then run towards her son, her youngest baby, and hug him. Goku's never felt this before. He's never really had a mother. But Goku almost cried himself as he hugged his mother back. Gine would then touch his hair and state how much he's grown. He looks so much like his father. She's so sorry that they weren't there for his childhood, as they couldn't go near Earth because they were afraid that along the way, Frieza could have picked up on them or more, and they could have ruined everything. It was safer just to let him grow on that planet. And she was so proud of him. They would then want to know all about Goku's life because he's a grown man. Goku would then sit there and tell them all the story about his whole life from when he was a child to Grandpa Gohan all the way to beating Frieza. The Saiyans were in awe, and Bardock knew there was no surprise. His son was incredible. Goku would then state that he actually left originally to go find Vegeta, as for some reason, if it wasn't for his help, they and all left back to Earth, but then Vegeta left on his own. For some reason, and he went missing for a few months, so his wife Bulma, or girlfriend, sent me out to go find him. Well, Bardock would then explain that we actually found Vegeta. We found him as he nearly died trying to destroy a planet-sized meteor, and it nearly killed him. But we did find him, and he is unconscious right now, but he is recovering. We don't have the healing containers that we do have, but some of the medicines that we do collect actually do help out, and we're able to reproduce it. But it does take a longer time. He's been unconscious for the past 3 days. But we were able to fill him in, so he's not going to freak out when he wakes up. He was still semi-conscious. That prince has more stubbornness and pride than I've ever seen anyone else have, even more than his father. Bardock would never mention what actually happened between him and Vegeta's father. You know that they fought originally. Goku would then see that Vegeta was bandaged up, laying on a medical bed, and he was out cold. Goku would then be comforted knowing that everything was okay. Goku would then bring the ship right over there with everybody else, and he would then inform Bulma about what's all happening. Bulma was amazed. there was more Saiyans, more than Goku. That kind of concerned her food bill a little bit, as long as you're staying there. But she would then explain, is Vegeta okay? Goku would say, yes, he's alive and he's okay, he's recovering. And then Goku would then offer the Saiyans, telling them, well, Frieza's dead. Why don't y'all come towards Earth if you want? It's very peaceful there, it's not as dangerous, and it's much safer there too. It's very beautiful. I would love for you guys to come and be a part of my family. Now all the Saiyans were considering it, but Bardock was made the leader. Since he did defeat King Vegeta in hand combat, he did, Bardock was also kind of like the soldier leader ahead. Now we all know that Broly is the strongest here, we can't throw that one out there, but Broly really respects Bardock. Bardock was almost like a second father to Broly, teaching him how to control his power over time. Now Bardock's no spring chicken either. Bardock's been training and keeping up strong. Bardock's not weak. Bardock could definitely throw hands with first form Frieza, no problem. In his Great Ape state, he can definitely fight second form Frieza, just for a little power gauge for Bardock. That's very impressive. But Bardock's been doing more mentoring and teaching and surviving than training. Then offer all of them. As while his space pod can't really fit everybody, he can take a few trips and bring them. As he has an idea, maybe he'll stay here for the week. Bulma can send another ship, she has another one, all the way over here, and it'll have another supplies, and it'll have capsules. Maybe they can use that, and then they can all hop on both ships, and they can fly on back home. The Saiyans would agree, and then a week later, all the Saiyans would then transport all the way to Earth, bringing everything that they do have. It was sad for Broly the most, because Broly's gonna miss Ba, and he promises that he'll be back one day. Promises. They would then all leave, all arriving on Earth over a week later. All the other Z fighters were waiting outside. Now Vegeta has fully recovered by this point, and Vegeta was kind of filled in on some stuff, and Vegeta's just kind of like, get out of my way. But he's trying to kind of keep quiet on it, as then, once when they're stepped outside, when things were finally settled in, the Saiyans don't really know where they're going to go, as they don't really have many places to be at. But for temporarily, Bulma has plenty of rooms for the Saiyans to bed up in, until maybe they'll find a village up where Goku lives, as it's secluded and is very peaceful. And the Saiyans would agree that's a safer idea. Also, Bardock and Gine want to be closer to Goku. Goku has a perfect place. Oh yeah, we can just start building up there at Mount Paozu. We can start building a village up there, where my grandpa lived. That's a perfect idea. So they would begin doing that, and over the next week, there was a problem. Vegeta thinks that he needs to be the king. Because, in rightfully honor, Vegeta is the prince of all Saiyans. He believes that he needs to be the king, since around no more, and they have over 30 Saiyans, including Goku and Vegeta and them. He needs to be the king. Now, he would have to challenge Bardock, and that's what he's been doing verbally, until Bardock has had enough of his mouth. Now, this is when two Saiyans will begin going at it. Now, Vegeta has gotten a good Zenkai boost, but he is still actually weaker than Bardock. Vegeta didn't really get massive Zenkais by that point. He did get his potential unlocked, and that made him roughly around 200 to 300,000. Now, Bardock's been concealing his power this whole time. Now, Goku by this point has gotten stronger himself, but we'll cut to that one later. Bardock here has a power level of around 600,000. Vegeta has a power level of around 350,000. Broly, no one knows. Once Vegeta would try fighting Bardock, Bardock clearly outclassed Vegeta easily, in skill and in power. He would then tell him that he's not a king of anybody, nor is he some type of demanding force. He's just somebody that is helping to help the group lead, not some type of royal king that everybody needs to pamper to. He's no different than anybody else. Just unfortunately, everyone else is looking up to Bardock for help. Now, Vegeta having his pride shattered for the third time, he would then say, you know, whatever, I don't need to be the king of Saiyans to prove that I'm the strongest. He would then begin still living under Bulma, training in the gravity room, different. All the Saiyans would then move to Mount Paozu, as they would begin building the homes. As it was easy, Bulma helped them by having the capsules to where they can spawn their own houses. And they would then do that, living there in peace. Goku was beyond happy. As then, it would then be months and months of peace. Till a young man would then appear from the future. Now this young man Trunks will be from the same timeline as the original, as it would confuse things a bit too much here. Trunks would then cut forward, as he was strange why Goku did not land in the desert wasteland. He would then find Goku's home, and he would sense a lot of powers nearby, a lot of power levels. He would then meet up with Goku, and the first thing he sees is that he has a tail. Trunks has never seen Saiyans with a tail before. Thinks that's a bit weird. Going back, change it that much? Now Gohan was with Goku as well, and Gohan's been training too, keeping his training up. And don't forget about Gohan. Now Piccolo's actually been nearby as well, as he doesn't really have much else to go, but Gohan's his friend. As Piccolo's even made some friends with some of the Saiyans as well, as Piccolo's been helping them out the best he could. Now, with Gohan continuing to train, Trunks would then be surprised to see that there's so much that has changed. After Trunks would then introduce himself, they would have the same back and forth conversation as last time, and even turning Super Saiyan. Now, all the Saiyans would then want to go see this, as Goku during this time, he has learned to control it himself over the last couple of months to even a year. As without Yarjat training, he didn't really learn this in transmission and such, but we're not going down that road. He was able to learn how to control it before he had to be really angry. Now, this is when Trunks here would then turn into a Super Saiyan. Vegeta and the others would be there as well. Everybody was watching. So it was like a group of like 40 people nearby watching in the distance. Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan as well. He would have a little clash just like last time. Trunks would then tell Goku about the androids appearing in 3 years' time. It became the heart medicine, and then Trunks would then be on his way. Now, everybody was confused. Piccolo would then explain the situation without revealing too much, such as Trunks being Vegeta and Bulma's son, and etc, etc. All the Saiyans would say, well, we can all try and train ourselves and make sure we're protected. Now, the Saiyans were all strong in their own right. Over the last couple of years, with Bardock pushing them, they have power levels between around 10 to around 30,000. It's pretty impressive, but nothing crazy. Goku then wonders if maybe he can try and teach them to become super. That'd be kind of interesting. Goku would try his best with that. And Bardock would state that, well, unfortunately, it would be too hard for him to catch up, but getting stronger won't hurt. So, with Bulma's help, they would then have their own gravity machine. And Goku would begin training the Saiyans on his own, teaching them techniques of Earth, as the Earthlings have a lot of interesting techniques. Now, all the Saiyans were learning. Gohan was actually the most happy. He has a lot of friends. As there was around 4 to 5 Saiyan children, they would all play around with Gohan, and Gohan would train with them. Gohan was actually very happy, because they're all similar to his age. A few of them are a couple years older than him, and some of them are around 10 to 16 years old, teenagers. So Gohan is really happy. He's actually one of the stronger ones, too. Most of the training would go similar, as Goku's real intense training would be with Piccolo and Gohan, and even Bardock will probably jump in there too, because he wants to make sure that his son's safe. Now, some of the other Saiyans could potentially jump in, and Vegeta's doing his own thing. 3 years would then pass, as Cell would finally... Now, we know that Cell originally, he kind of killed Trunks, took the time machine, went back to the past to regrow, as we know that that's how they found that embryo first of Cell when he was in like his first stage. Now, that's still going to be happening, so Cell is still around there somewhere within that current time frame. But now, since 3 years have passed, Dr. Gero and Android 19 would still appear. Now, remember, they only took DNA samples, so they do have a lot of the Saiyans, but that doesn't really change nothing because they don't have Frieza nor King Cold. Since Frieza and King Cold did not arrive on Earth, the little spy robot never went to Namek. So, the androids are not as powerful as they originally were. As Goku was definitely the strongest, but it's not a massive difference. The androids will roughly be similar in strength, but Cell would be a little bit weaker. Not by massive margin, but just a little bit. As then, once when Dr. and Android 19 appear, Goku would then fly in, as Bardock would then land next to his son. Now, once when Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan, he would then begin attacking the Android 19. He was mopping the floor with him, but then Goku begins having a heart virus that was destroying his power. The Super Saiyan transformationally amplified it, thus making Goku succumb to the heart virus. He would then be out of the commission. They would then take the medicine, and some Saiyans would then take Goku away to begin keeping him safe. Now, we know that originally the Saiyan place is near Mount Paozu. Now, the androids don't know exactly where that is. They do know about Goku's house and Master Roshi's home, not Mount Paozu. So the Saiyans are hidden up there in the bamboo forest. That's where they'll keep Goku very safe. So the Saiyans, and some of these Saiyans are doctors too, from Planet Vegeta, have the best knowledge. They would then keep Goku safe by basically making sure that he's under the best care, keeping him the medicine. Now, Vegeta would then be arriving as he wasn't late this time, and Vegeta would have turned into a Super Saiyan as he was able to unlock his power on his own. Now, this is when Bardock would then also cut in, tell him to make sure to stay out of his way, as it was Bardock's turn first. Vegeta as a Saiyan knows to stay out of another way. Until he realized that Bardock can also turn into a Super Saiyan himself. Goku taught Bardock how to do this. Bardock being a genius just like how Goku is, it seems to run in the family. Well, I don't see why Bardock is not able to turn to a Super Saiyan. And he also turned to a Super Saiyan in the fan episode. But Dr. Gero will be in some trouble. Android 19 will be destroyed by Bardock. Vegeta is going to go feast on Dr. Gero first. Now, Dr. Gero would use the dust of the rocks to get away, but he did lose both one of his arms, was able to barely escape. Piccolo was about to stop him originally, but Dr. Gero was barely and narrowly able to escape. Now, Vegeta would find him nearby, and before the other Saiyans could then arrive to stop him as well, Dr. Gero would then state that these two androids that I have, they are far stronger than you could ever imagine. You can never beat them, if you could try. Remember, he's messing with Vegeta's pride. Vegeta would tell him, I'll actually, matter of fact, I will allow you to unlock these robots. I'm a Super Saiyan. I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. I'm the King of the Saiyans. They can't match me in power. Bardock would then stop him, telling him, what the hell are you doing? You cannot let him unlock these androids. Trunks would then try to intervene as well, telling him that no, he will not let this happen. And before he could do it, Vegeta would then turn Super Saiyan and then kick Trunks right in the neck, knocking Trunks through a few rock pillars, knocking him out of commission temporarily. Bardock's not going to let the future be destroyed, as he had visions during the past 3 years of these androids killing everybody if they allow this. He would then begin charging up his power. In anger, terror would then rise. It would shock Vegeta, as Bardock turned into a Super Saiyan as well. He would then fly in, delivering a powerful gut punch to Vegeta, stunning the Prince. As the two began trading blows back and forth, Bardock and Vegeta's power level were roughly similar. Vegeta was able to catch up quickly because of gravity training and the motivation that he had. But Bardock was still a little bit ahead of power. But unfortunately, Vegeta would then fire a Big Bang attack, but it was too late. The androids were then unlocked. Once when Android 17 and 18 and Android 16 would then arrive after killing Dr. Gero, they were not pure evil like the original ones were. This is the normal timeline androids. Vegeta would then get in front of Android 18's way and begin fighting her. Bardock would then take his turn as Android 17 wants to fight that old guy. As remember, Bardock looks just like Goku. The androids would then see Bardock and they would then think that that's actually Goku. Android 16 then cuts in saying that he's fighting Goku, but he seems a bit different. He would then ask, "Are you Goku?" It's "No, I'm Bardock." The androids think that he's lying. The facial, everything, it looks identical to Goku. They wouldn't care anyway, as they would then fly in, as they do know that from the database that it potentially is one of the Saiyans that arrived on the Earth, but in reality, they're not going to realize it. It looks like Goku enough. It must be. And he can turn to a Super Saiyan too, one of those Super Saiyan thingies. It has to be. So this is when Android 17 would then go up, as Android 16 will sit back until he's needed. He has a feeling that that is not Goku, as he knows Goku's database more seriously than Android 17 and 18. They think it is. Android 16 doesn't think it is Goku. He looks similar, maybe a father or an offspring, not Goku. Android 17 began fighting Super Saiyan Bardock, and Bardock would fare actually pretty well against Android 17. Android 17 was stated to be stronger than 18. Bardock still was stronger than Vegeta. He was actually able to hold his own pretty well until the androids went full power. They would then overpower Bardock and Vegeta, and the two would be defeated. Now, they were not killed, as the androids are not killers. Android 16 would then tell them, no, spare them, as they are not Goku. Tells them that. States that Goku is currently somewhere else. He knows it. They then say, well, even if it was Goku, I guess it'll be fun just to beat him up and then we can fight him again next time for fun. Let's just go anyway. But if you're wrong, we might attack you too. Androids would then go off on their own to go play around and goof off, causing a little bit of mayhem here and there. Now, after giving the Sensu Bean, they were then all recovered. Vegeta's pride was shattered. Bardock was irritated that he lost. These androids are incredibly strong. He knows that his son needs to be brought back. His son needs to be healed up enough so he can destroy these damn androids. Over time, we know that this is when Piccolo would then leave, flying up to go meet Kami. He would then fuse with Kami just like before, and Piccolo would then go down to go fight Android 17. Now, whoa. Piccolo never fused with Nail, so is he not as strong as he used to be? Well, the thing with Piccolo is the fact that Piccolo here is still very strong. Remember here that Piccolo is still friends with Goku and everybody else. The fact that he's been training for years and years and years with Goku, with a higher motivation, and Goku stronger too, with the gravity, definitely think that Piccolo can catch up really quick. So Piccolo is roughly around the same power level as he was last time. Meeting Android 17, the two would have a great battle, fighting each other back and forth. Android 17 would then actually respect Piccolo, as Piccolo was actually really strong. Now this is when, unfortunately, Cell would then appear. Once when Cell appears, he would then attack Piccolo, overpowering him since he was already tired. Android 17 was about to be absorbed before Android 16 would then cut in, attacking Cell just in time. Now, as we know that during this time, unfortunately, Cell would then use the solar flare technique, and he would then absorb Android 17. Now, we know that with Krillin and Android 18, bro was out there looking for the wifey. He would then destroy the remote, as now they just lost another option to destroy the androids, so Krillin was simping over Android 18. He pulled anyway. If he didn't, he's the most hated character in the entire community. Krillin destroyed the remote. Second form Cell would begin looking around everywhere all day long for Android 18 and Android 16, as even Tien would then attack Cell to try and stop him. A few other Saiyans would then try jumping in too to distract Cell, helping out Tien, firing the most powerful attack that they have. Now Cell would find this cute, as it did irritate him. Tien was menace back then. He would then swat them out of his way. Unfortunately, luckily, they were all able to survive. Thank goodness. Cell would begin looking around more and more. During this time, they would know about the Room of Spirit and Time. Vegeta would then go in there with Trunks, and he would begin training. Now, Goku has fully recovered by this point, and he was able to get ready to go in the Room of Spirit and Time. Now, Bardock did offer to go in there with Goku, but Goku wants to go in there with Gohan. And Bardock knows exactly what he's talking about. Bardock then says that he had visions of this boy, but might have been a bit older. Goku explains that his son has more potential than even he does. The fact that he can grow so strong is crazy. Now, whoa. What about Broly? Wouldn't Paragus not make Broly attack Vegeta? Well, over the years of Bardock talking to Paragus would kind of drop his hatred for Vegeta, and he feels like King Vegeta got what's owed because a low-class Saiyan Bardock killed Vegeta, so that he kind of let it go. Now, whoa, what about Broly attacking? Paragus will not allow Broly to attack nobody, and Bardock knows this because with Broly's rage, he will lose control, and that could turn into a whole other issue. That is the reason why Broly is forcibly held back until he learns how to control his power more. Now, Goku would train Broly, but unfortunately, Goku knows that it's too dangerous. He's better off with his son because he knows that Gohan, when he's angry, has a hidden power, but he can control it. He knows that Broly has a similar thing, maybe even greater, but he can't control it. It's just safer doing Gohan. Gohan needs main character energy. Once when Goku and Gohan would then go in, Vegeta has already left. He's already turned into Super Vegeta, basically being the strongest Saiyan at that time, fighting Cell just like before, and unfortunately, Trunks and Bardock would not be able to stop Vegeta from basically allowing Cell to absorb Android 18, becoming Perfect Cell, just like the original timeline. Cell basically bullied everybody around. Vegeta's Final Flash, tanked it. Pretty much Trunks going Ultra Super Saiyan, tanked that. Bardock, in anger, would then hit him with a final javelin attack. Cell would then brush it off. And Cell was interested that in Bardock's anger, he grew even stronger with Vegeta and Trunks. He would then spare everybody, doing the Cell games in the similar time frame. They're roughly about 10 days or so. If you train, then I'll start up the Cell games. Strongest fighter in the world, just like the original. Now, Goku and Gohan would then step out, and they would stay the full year. Now, before they left a couple months earlier, this time they're staying the full year, so Goku can master the Super Saiyan form. Gohan was able to unlock Super Saiyan much quicker than the original, as it only took Gohan roughly a few days inside the Room of Spirit and Time to actually learn how to use it. And quickly, he was able to adapt to it and master it faster than even Goku could. Gohan's potential is even higher. Mixing with the S cells that he has is even higher too because he's an Elite Saiyan. Gohan is pretty busted. Gohan, by this point, at the end of the year, has already far surpassed his father, and he's already tapping into the powers of an ascended Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan 2. But it's hard for him to do it, and there's a small chance that he can't, and he needs to be really angry to do it. He needs to be pushed to his limit. This is already a lot higher since Gohan could never even tap into Super Saiyan 2 at all unless he was pushed past the limit of mental and physical. Once when they do all step out, everybody was in awe with how strong Goku was. As there was another turn, as Bardock and Piccolo would actually go in there together. Bardock and Piccolo became pretty good because they still have the stoic nature, the quiet nature. They would then actually become good friends and good rivals in a way. Now, Piccolo and Bardock, since Piccolo does not need food, he can just drink water, he's fine. They would then stay in there for a year, stepping out on their own. Now, Bardock has gotten very strong, not as strong as his son, and Goku even taught him a cool trick, as he basically whispered to his dad, stay in Super Saiyan for as long as you can in there, learn to master it. Bardock understood, and Piccolo's a master at ki control too. Bardock has mastered Super Saiyan fully, and not to mention the fact, he's a little bit weaker than his son Goku by a little bit, and him and Piccolo are a little bit similar in strength. Piccolo's a little bit weaker than Bardock, but and they're all roughly similar. They're a little bit stronger than Vegeta and Trunks, but they're weaker than Goku, and a lot weaker than Gohan. Gohan is far stronger than Goku is. Once when they all meet up for the Cell Games, taking a break and enjoying time. Peace was finally for a little bit, as the next couple of days would then pass on, the Cell Games would then begin. With Cell now being fully prepared to go, Goku would then step up first, because he wants Gohan to see how Cell fights. Bardock already saw that plan right all the way through, and he thought to himself how smart that was. As Bardock would then have a vision hit him, he would then close his eyes holding his head, as he can then see something terrible happen. Bardock knows what he has to do, but he keeps it quiet now. Bardock sees that his son would then sacrifice himself to defeat Cell, but Bardock's not going to let this happen. He will not let his son die. But Bardock keeps it to himself for now. Vegeta would notice that Bardock acted weird, keeps quiet. He knows that Bardock has these visions. Hopefully it's a good one. Goku would then fight Cell, trading blows back and forth. Goku, actually being a lot stronger than he originally was actually able to fight Cell really well, forcing Cell to go to his full strength. Cell would begin overpowering Goku, and Goku would then give up. Goku could fight Cell harder, but he knows not to push it. He wants Gohan to step up. Gohan, now powering up to his full strength, would actually fight Cell on even terms, even surpassing Cell in terms of strength. Overpowering Cell, Cell was amazed at how strong Gohan was. Gohan would then fire a Kamehameha wave, hitting Cell, blasting him almost to atoms. This shocked everybody, but then Cell fully regenerated, only coming back stronger. He basically had one of those little Zenkai boosts. Broken. As he would then attack Gohan again, overpowering the Unsane. Goku would then tell Gohan to snap, to let it all go. Let all of your power out, Gohan. Come on, Gohan. You can do it. Do you want Cell to destroy everybody? Gohan would then have visions of imagining Cell hurting his friends. Just what his father has trained him for. Gohan would then tap into the power. Bulking up in muscle size, his hair would then stand up fully straight. Electricity would then spark around him. Gohan is now transformed into the Super Saiyan 2. He would then attack Cell, easily overpowering him. Fortunately, Gohan gets cocky, just like the original, wanting Cell to suffer for what he's done. Goku would then tell him to kill him now. If he doesn't, then Cell could do something dangerous. Gohan would then punch Cell so hard that Cell would then spit out Android 18, so Krillin has a wife. Cell would then, in terrified, he would then begin swelling in size. Now we know that originally Cell's blast would completely destroy everything, but we'll get to that in a minute. As Goku doesn't know what to do, maybe he can grab Cell and maybe try and fly him somewhere. There's nothing else that they could do. Bardock does have a trick up his sleeve. He would then grab his son by the shoulder and tell him how proud of him he is, and how proud he is to call him a son. Proud of a father he made. Bardock states that he's done a lot of bad things and that he will survive. He tells his son that he is the future. He should have died against Frieza all those years ago. But the fact that he didn't and he's here was for a reason. He already saw the future. He knows that his son will reach powers that of gods, which kind of make Goku a bit weirded out. Y'all know what reference I'm getting to. Bardock would then state that your power will breach that of the gods one day. We'll see. But your time is not now. Mine is. For now. I'll probably see you again. Bardock would then grab Cell, gently touching his stomach, as Bardock would then summon massive ki barrier around Cell to levitate him off. Learning some abilities. Bardock would then look at his son and smirk, as he would then tell him goodbye. Bardock would then fly using all of his Super Saiyan power, creating a barrier around him and Cell, so that way they can go out in space. And Cell was not being touched, he was just being floated up by gravity. It would then fly out into space, as Bardock would then fly full speed into the sun. I mean, originally the sun would be destroyed because Cell would destroy it all, but the sun vaporized them before Cell could explode. So, now that Bardock and Cell are dead, everybody was completely upset. and Cell was actually fully destroyed, or was he? There was a very small little cell left from the sun's destruction that floated up in space. Remember how Cooler somehow survived? As a little piece of Cell was able to remain. Cell was able to regenerate back, arriving back with Gohan. The two would then have their kind of beam off, just like the original. But Goku was here with his son this time. All of the Saiyans would then go behind Cell, firing their attacks at him, distract him, even Vegeta, Piccolo, and the others. Goku would then get in front of Gohan, putting his hands right around Gohan's hands, firing a Kamehameha of his own, screaming, as Bardock would then appear next to them, almost in an astral form, telling them that they're not done yet, as they then fired the family Kamehameha wave. Bardock would then fire his own blast as well. All three of them would then scream through the 3 different generations, hitting Cell full force, as Cell would then be completely disintegrated. Cell was gone. Gohan would then fall alongside with Goku, completely exhausted. Peace was finally brought back to Earth as everybody cheered. Gine cried looking up at the sky as her husband sacrificed himself for everybody else. And the fact that they could use the Dragon Balls for now. As once when they do summon the dragon, they do wish back everybody that Cell in the end killed. Before they do that, they then tried wishing Bardock back. But before they did that, Bardock would then tell them no. Bardock would then state that he's going to stay up here for a little while, if that's okay. As he met some cool teachers. Not to mention, too, there's plenty of people that he can fight. And Goku will say that, well, Kami can always bring him up there, he can always visit if he wants. Bardock's fine with that. Bardock states that there's a lot of strong people up here that he wants to learn from, and actually, they're pretty strong. And if he could somehow go to hell and kill Frieza again, that'd be pretty cool too. Goku would understand, and they'll let Bardock stay up there for now, so he can kind of learn and grow stronger, but he will be back, promises Gine. So, then there was 7 years of peace. Peace was finally restored to Earth. Now, Gohan, would he continue training? Yes. Gohan was raised around Saiyans a lot more. Chi-Chi would still keep him, have a little bit of an education, but yeah, Gohan would be influenced way too much. Now, Gohan might get with some of the Saiyans that were there, but I personally think that Gohan will probably still get with Videl, just to make it easier, but that's later on. They all look at Gohan like they're one giant family. Now, Goku, being alive, no Super Saiyan 3, nothing like that, no fusion dance, or unless from what we know of. Now that Vegeta can fight Goku whenever he wants, not really too angry about being pride broken, so that's a bit dropped too. There was finally peace until one day they all arrived for the tournament, and majority of the Saiyans did come as well, as they want to fight fighters too. Massive one. And a Supreme Kai would then be there. During the 7 years of peace was finally brought after defeating the mighty Cell. Bardock in the other world has been training hard. We're learning a lot of techniques from other species such as Yardrats, Metamorians, and beating Pycon. Bardock was able to beat him in their little duel that they had, just like the other world tournament, just like before. But now this version, it's not Goku, it's Bardock. Now what about the rest of the Saiyans, and what about Raditz? Well, Bardock has had time to explore heaven, hell, and etc. because he can teleport around. Bardock will be able to learn the instant transmission technique from one of the Yardrat people, and he would be able to teleport around. He would of course probably fought Frieza for his own self-fun, and kind of avoided some others, but the main person he would have found was Raditz. He would then make a promise to his son, as he would spend a lot of time with him, and he would help Raditz understand that his brother had to do what he had to do. And not to mention too, alongside Vegeta and Nappa and the others, yeah, unfortunately Raditz got really beat up. So in return, he does offer that when he does get Wish back in the future, they will bring Raditz back, he promises him, because his mother also needs him. Raditz would then agree. As cutting forward, Bardock was in the other world for about 2 or so years. He count 3, want to max it out. Bardock would then be brought back, as then, about a year or so later, they would then also wish Raditz back, and Raditz would be brought back in with the Saiyan family. Now some people were confused when I said about 30 Saiyans before, but you have to remind you that Bardock left with a large group of them, at least 20 plus. And not to mention too, it's been over 25 plus years when Goku first met them. So they've had a very long time to get together, reproduce, and have a lot more Saiyans than just 20, as it's been over 25 years. So that's the reason why instead of 10 to around 20, 25, there is around 30 Saiyans in total. But that's the biggest reason. Now, all the Saiyans are still living their lives happily. Now, Gohan is not as socially awkward as he was, because he's able to hang around Saiyans all the time. Now, would Gohan have a chance of falling in love with one of the female Saiyans that are there? Definitely, for sure. But I feel like Gohan, just for continuity purposes, we're going to say that he's going to go down a more simple path, as he's maybe not really going to be focusing on dating-wise. Chi-Chi would also not let Gohan be around those Saiyans like that, because of Bardock's wife, Gine, who she's actually become very close with, as is technically her mother in a sense. So yeah, they really got along well, and Gine is a very soft soul, so that's the reason why. But Gohan would still go to Orange Star High School, but he has not dropped his training. Gohan is still just as strong, if not stronger. Over time, Vegeta would also not have the violent tendencies that he had, because he feels a bit more at ease. There's a large Saiyan population growing, very happy, and he can fight Kakarot whenever he wants. He does want to have a rematch against Bardock, but other than that, not too much else. So he's not as hatred as he was before, and he wasn't as kind of mentally unstable to allow himself to get taken over. The events for the Buu arc would go very similar at the beginning, with everybody meeting the Supreme Kai at the Tenkaichi tournament. Now, under the tournament, this is where some changes are going to occur. Since Goku's been alive, he never learned about Super Saiyan 3 yet, as remember, Goku had to be dead to unlock it. Now, Bardock would not have it either, for some people might be let down, is because Goku had to train for 7 years, dead, just to unlock it. Bardock was only dead for around 3. But they do have Super Saiyan 2, and they basically mastered these forms. Now, cutting forward, they would all meet the Supreme Kai, mainly Piccolo, who was terrified of him. Now, cutting forward even more, all the way to when Babdi's men would still show up. The same kind of events would happen with Gohan in the school. So after Gohan would meet Videl, they would start dating here and there. This is when Videl would be attacked by Spopovich, who would still take Gohan's energy. Now, that energy would actually be enough to revive Majin Buu. So they would let Gohan be having his energy taken by the Supreme Kai. Goku, Bardock, Piccolo, Vegeta, some of the others would all leave to go follow. Now, once when they do arrive, Majin Buu was already resurrected. Now, the issue with Majin Buu here is the fact that how did he get resurrected so quickly is just because the fact that Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 and he kept training. So his strength is far stronger than the original, so that's the reason why Majin Buu had just enough to be revived. Deborah would then come out and start attacking the other Saiyans, and Bardock, I feel like, would start fighting Deborah head on. Gohan was unfortunately too weak, so he would try and help Bardock. Now with Goku and Vegeta, they would then team up in Super Saiyan 2 to fight Majin Buu. Now with Goku and Vegeta, they would be training together, and Goku might not be as strong if this was the original potential of Goku, but since he is an elite level Saiyan, his potential is a lot higher. But Goku's actually very strong. He is stronger than Vegeta, unfortunately. But he's around a little bit stronger than Gohan, but if Gohan kept training like how Goku did, he would have been able to surpass his father. Goku's the strongest. Goku and Vegeta teaming up in Super Saiyan 2, they would start to overpower Majin Buu. They would still take their turns, but once when they see that Babidi is the actual problem, they would then trick Buu, basically persuading him to kill Babidi, freeing Buu. So once when they would let Buu go under Goku's saying, Buu would then become best friends with Mr. Hercule just like before, because he is the strongest and the world champion. But unfortunately, Mr. Satan would still be shot just like before. Unfortunately, this makes Majin Buu then split, causing Evil Buu to absorb him, becoming Super Buu. Now you could cut forward and state that Goku would not have the same mindset about how, oh, he wanted Goten and Trunks to have the fun, as Bardock is there. Bardock is the more serious one, and he would then tell his son that, listen, even if all of us Saiyans combined as Super Saiyans, it probably would not be enough to stop that version of that monster. Goku would actually be overpowered by Super Buu a little bit, as Super Buu just has too much stamina and abilities for Goku to keep up. Fortunately, Goku and Vegeta were able to kill Majin Buu and be able to overpower him if they wanted to, but unfortunately, not Super Buu. That's the next level. So the main problem is now Super Buu would then go on a fun little rampage. As Bardock can do the fusion dance, maybe he can do it with his son, but he's not close enough in power. Vegeta is actually the closest one in terms of power with Goku. And not to mention too, Vegeta and Goku make Gogeta for easier names. So while Super Buu was off eating candy and causing chaos, Bardock would then teach Goku and Vegeta how to do the fusion dance. Now, Super Buu would allow them to do it as he wants to fight somebody really strong. Once when Goku and Vegeta would fail 2 times, becoming Gogeta, I believe it was, and Vegeta, and they would then fail, becoming skinny and really fat, they would then finally transform into Gogeta and fight Super Buu. Now we know that Gogeta's on Demon Time. He does not play around when it comes to his enemies like how Vegeta does. Not the GT version. We know that the real version of Gogeta from the movie and in the actual show is no joke. He would then turn into a Super Saiyan and fight Super Buu, easily overpowering the Majin. To be sure, he would then charge up to Super Saiyan 2, as they still have around 15 minutes or so of time to continue fighting, or maybe even more than that. It was around 15 to 30 or so minutes of time, which is more than enough, because this version of Gogeta is stronger than Gotenks, and the stronger the fusion is, the less time it actually was. It was a theory with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but you could say it's not canon. So if it's not, then they would have around 45 minutes, which is plenty of time. They would overpower Super Buu, not wasting any time, but they don't want to kill him because the good Buu's inside, they can feel it. So they would allow themselves to be absorbed. Now once when they were inside, the magic would not wear off the fusion, as the Potara is not connected by magic. The fusion dance is not. It's a normal technique where you fuse your ki into one person. So the effect would not defuse them. They would have time to be able to free the good Buu, and this would then cause Kid Buu to be born, and they would fight Kid Buu in the fusion, but before they would end him, the fusion timer would then run out. This is when Goku would then power up with everything he has, and the Saiyans would then give Goku their power. The problem is that Kid Buu was too strong, and all the Saiyans, everyone else, had no energy left. Even if Bardock tried fighting, he wouldn't be able to stop him. And Vegeta and Goku had little to no energy left. They had one option. Some of the Saiyans agreed that they'll try and distract Buu. Maybe the other Saiyans can give Goku their energy. So, they had 6+ Saiyans all give their power to Goku. These were the 6 most ripe ones. Once when Goku was then given the power, something happened. Goku would then go into the air as a blue energy would then surround him. Goku would then reappear with red hair. Goku has been unknowingly transformed into a Super Saiyan God. No person can sense his power. Kid Buu would look in shock. Goku has no clue what this power is. It is incredible. Goku doesn't know what it is, but he knows he doesn't have a choice and that he has to use it now. Maybe this is just the combined energy of Super Saiyans, he doesn't know. This doesn't feel like normal ki though. He would easily outmatch Buu, and with a simple Kamehameha wave, he would completely obliterate Buu without even a struggle. Now far off on a distant planet, a certain cat would then awaken, as he can sense this power. He would then instantly tell Whis to check his staff and see what that power is. He can feel it. Whis would then state that somebody appears to have reached godhood and they have possessed god energy. Beerus remembers the reminiscence that he had about a Super Saiyan god. We then tell him right away they're going right now. They would then fly right off. Goku would then look at his hands and he would be amazed at the power that he does have, as they don't know what this is. Goku states it's a version of ki that he's never felt before. It's almost godlike. Then shortly afterwards, a being would then appear, and it was Lord Beerus. Now by this point, it takes around 20 or so minutes to reach it, planet Earth. So Goku's god power would then wear off as he would then lose it, reverting back to his normal self, but he can still feel the power within him. Once when Beerus arrives, he asks where this Saiyan god was. He can sense it. He doesn't sense it anymore. Goku then states that it was him, but unfortunately he kind of lost the power. He can feel it inside of him, but he doesn't know how to access it. Now, remember, Vegeta was terrified as he knows who this is. He would then explain who Beerus was, and Beerus would then state that he wants to fight the Super Saiyan God right now. Can they do the ritual again? None of the Saiyans had the strength to do so, but they technically could. Could they just give Goku the power again? Could that even be possible? Well, they would then all try, as the other 6 Super Saiyans would then all gather together, giving each other energy right back to Goku. But nothing would happen. The only thing is that Goku got a lot stronger. So he already has the God Ki within him, it's just the fact that he just can't access it, he doesn't know how to. So, Beerus says, I want to fight a Super Saiyan God, and if I don't fight one, I will destroy everything. They don't have a choice, so they think of the next strongest person who could fight Beerus. They think of Vegeta. As it makes sense, they would all then give Vegeta the power. Goku even agrees that Vegeta definitely probably the best one to do it, since Gohan's not at 100% still. He's still really hurt from that ki drain before. So they would then all give Vegeta the power, and Vegeta would get the limelight and become a Super Saiyan God. He would then fight Beerus, giving him a very similar fight to how Goku did in the original movie and the original TV show. Beerus would be very impressed by Vegeta's strength, and he has sensed Goku's power. Goku was a lot stronger than Vegeta, and he wants to fight that too. So he offers Goku and Vegeta to come to his world to continue training for fun, as he does see them as pretty interesting. He's surprised that many Saiyans survived, as he actually thought that Frieza failed, but he would then kind of keep that to himself for now. And he would just be surprised that many Saiyans escaped, but he'll leave it. But then one person catches his eye. Broly. Beerus would then stop and instantly see Broly. He would begin looking all around Broly, checking him out, and he was amazed at the raw power that Broly had within him. He demands Whis to bring the Saiyan to his planet at once as well. No matter what, Paragus was very against it, but Beerus would then glare at him and state, "You don't have a choice. This young man is coming here as well. Want these three to be at my planet?" They would then agree. As long as they can bring Earth delicacies, he would not destroy the planet. So cutting forward, after the 2 to 3 years of training, Goku and Vegeta was able to unlock Super Saiyan Blue, just like the original, and Broly, with some struggle, was able to turn Super Saiyan by this point already, with the help of Goku training with Broly. Now, also too, Broly would be able to tap into some of the legendary power, but he does lose control very easily. It's the only dangerous part. So, Broly is still getting really strong. He's already surpassed Goku and Vegeta in terms of raw strength. He just can't tap into it without losing his mind. Now, what about Frieza? Well, his men would still wish Frieza back just like before. Once when Frieza would then arrive with all of his men, he would be shocked to see how many Saiyans are actually here. Now, there is one person who would be very happy to see Frieza, and this person was Bardock. Now, during those 3 years, Bardock would kind of fill in with what Vegeta's shoes were. He would be doing everything in his power to try and please Whis to bring him along as well, and over time, Whis would then see that Bardock is a very strong candidate. Maybe. He is the father of Goku and how strong he was. He would then bring Bardock along during the rest of the 2 years. So Bardock was able to catch up, but it was pretty difficult. Now, after this point, Bardock by this point would have actually taught Goku and Vegeta, and would try to teach Broly how to use instant transmission over the next 3 years, and they would actually be able to use it. Now, Vegeta would per se not be as adamant to learning. Goku definitely would, same with Broly. But Vegeta does know how to use it. He's probably just not going. But now Bardock does possess God energy. Now, cutting forward, this is when he would then meet Frieza after so many years. Frieza was shocked to see that Bardock was still alive after all this time. Goku and Vegeta were there, same with Broly. They were just standing back and letting Bardock go first, as Bardock has a bone to pick with Frieza. Bardock's been basically given a gift. He's waited all these years to see Frieza again, as he couldn't find him in Hell. Frieza was hiding, or maybe he was in a new other place suffering. Frieza was shocked to see that this Saiyan was alive. Bardock states that for all these years, he has been waiting for this moment. Over 30 plus years of his life, he's waited to fight him just for this moment. Frieza would then showcase his new golden form, and it would shock everybody with how strong he was. Bardock would then turn into a Super Saiyan Blue, and then battle Frieza. Frieza would begin overpowering Bardock just like before. Now, Bardock would start to overpower Frieza in the end because Frieza would start losing his stamina. He made the fatal mistake as he's not good at keeping his stamina up. The form is brand new, wasn't used to it. Bardock would start to overpower him, and then this is when Goku would then want to butt in. Same with Vegeta, but Goku stops him and say, "No, let my father do this. It's his moment." Now, Genie was there as well. She was helping to defeat the soldiers. By the way, Frieza's soldiers have no chance. You have over 30 to 40 plus Saiyans, and some of them can turn Super Saiyan 2. Yeah, there's just no chance. With the other Z fighters as well, Gohan's not slacking off on training either. Yeah, they're built different. Now, Frieza, out of panic, would then destroy the planet just like before, as Bardock dropped his guard. As he got a bit too confident, he wanted to torture Frieza, least within reverse time. This is when Goku would then fly in and battle Frieza in his golden state right before he blew up the planet. Now Goku would then kick Frieza into the air, start to overpower him. He was already in Super Saiyan Blue. He would then fire a full power Kamehameha, killing Frieza. Now that that was all said and done, Frieza was destroyed, his men was in shambles, peace was finally brought back. Now with the Universe 6 and 7 arc, that would still happen. With Beerus and of course his brother Champa would be going back and forth over delicacies. They would then challenge each other. Now, the end result would be kind of similar, just a mishap a bit different. Goku would just, instead of Piccolo, it would be Bardock. And Bardock would be able to catch that Frost was cheating, and he would have probably been able to knock him out. Same with Vegeta and the others. Fortunately, with 3 Super Saiyan Blues, and they have Broly, yeah, Broly would definitely fight Vegeta, and I feel like with Broly's strength, he would definitely be able to pick up Vegeta and even throw him, because of how strong Broly is. It would be a really fun challenge. Now, Vegeta would still lose to Hit first, because no one's met somebody like Hit. Now, Bardock would knock out Frost, and then next was Vegeta. Once Vegeta would lose, Bardock would then tell his son to go first. Goku would then step up, as he has an idea on how to beat him. Goku's fight with Hit would be very similar. Not much of that would really change. Now, when Goku would still basically lose in a sense, because he can't match Hit because his potential keeps on rising, Monaka would then come out as Hit knows what's happening. They would basically then have Monaka knock out Hit, and Beerus won, giving Champa his Earth back. Now, why not throw Broly in there? Now, the reason why is because they don't want Broly losing his mind and basically going full power mode and destroying everything. Goku would still meet Zeno just like before, becoming best friends with him. And after that, what about the future Trunks' timeline? He would still have problems with Goku Black. Goku would have still gone to Beerus to see Zamasu, who was destroyed. Then another version of Zamasu met Goku Black, and they turned evil, and it was a weird mix of plot holes. So realistically, most of it would have gone the same. You could maybe say that Bardock would have left with them alongside with Goku and Vegeta and Trunks. You could say that. The other Saiyans would have stayed. Now, this is when I feel that Broly would then come along too to make sure everything's okay. Now, if they did fuse and merge Zamasu following the same events, Rose Goku Black would not have a chance against Goku or Vegeta or Bardock. Yeah, unfortunately Zamasu, even though he has immortality, would not do much either. You would then have somebody like Broly. Once when Merged Zamasu was there, the Supreme Kai would then offer the earrings, but Broly was already pissed off. Seeing all of his friends were hurt, as he looks at Bardock and Goku, he mainly looks at Goku like a brother in a way, a brother from another mother. Same with Vegeta as a good rival, and Bardock almost like a second father figure. He was furious seeing that Bardock was being tortured by Merged Zamasu. Broly would then snap. Going past his Super Saiyan state, going into his legendary form that was only shown a few times before. Bulking up massively in size, he would then begin attacking Merged Zamasu, overpowering the false god. This is when this deity was being overpowered by Broly's primal rage. No matter what Zamasu did, he kept getting stronger. Zamasu would then swell in size. Since he was only half immortal, his body was mutating. It would not stop a monster like Broly, who was continuing to attack and overpower him. Broly has no time limit on this one. Now, Broly would then charge up a massive blast using all of his energy. He would then completely obliterate Merged Zamasu. Unfortunately, though, way too immortal. Super the Dragon Balls, he would then mix in with the entire universe. Goku would still have the Zeno button as Broly was knocked out, using up all of his power to basically try and kill Merged Zamasu. He would then summon Zeno, who would then destroy that timeline. They would then put Trunks' mind and the others in the other copy timeline, where there was peace, and they would then fly back to their timeline. That's the only difference between the Goku Black arc, is Broly would have fought instead of Vegito. Now cutting forward, what about Tournament of Power? The Tournament of Power would have gone similar, with Zeno still being promised by Goku to have a really fun fight, fighting everybody from all the other 11 universes, excluding the 7th. Now, once when they do all meet up, they would have a very stacked team. They would not need Frieza, as they have versions like Broly and more. You have Gohan, who continue training, Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, Bardock, and some of the other Saiyans. Raditz would also be there as well. Now, Raditz was revived by this point. Raditz would kind of been in the background. but Raditz has been training a lot with Piccolo and Gohan and the other Saiyans, that Raditz has been able to catch up pretty good. He's still not there, but he's pretty good. Definitely a good teammate. Now, with some of the other Saiyans, they're pretty stacked. They have a full group of 10 people. Now that they all be fighting, you're now going to have the most intense tournament of power ever. The fact that Goku's fighting will pretty much go similar. Jiren will be told to crush Goku first. Since Goku was the main threat, he fought Toppo originally. All the universes saw it. They wanted to knock out Goku. Goku would begin to lose to Jiren. Fortunately, Jiren would be too strong for Goku, even in Super Saiyan Blue. Goku would try the Spirit Bomb, and Jiren would have to use more strength this time, but he would be able to overpower it, pushing Goku into it, causing Goku to go into Ultra Instinct. First time, Goku would then battle Jiren, and the first time that he fights him in Ultra Instinct, he actually handles better. It's like he turned into Ultra Instinct for the third time, and he was actually able to throw hands with Jiren until he loses the power, not being used to it. Now, he would then be out of commission, as then Bardock would then find his son, and he would then give him energy to help him back up. Now, this is when Kale and Caulifla would then attack Goku. Now, Broly would then actually jump in, and he'll fight Kale on his own. Broly's a lot more mature, because remember, he's continuing to train and learn. Now, Kale and Broly can relate to each other a lot, since they're both legendary Super Saiyans in their own universe. Now, with Caulifla alone, Goku would be able to overpower her, and Bardock would give his son more strength than Frieza did, since Frieza only gave him a little bit. Goku was able to recover faster, thus being in Super Saiyan, and even Super Saiyan 2, he would overpower Caulifla, and before Kale could get away from Broly, Broly would then stop her. This would then cause Kale to lose her mind, turning into her full legendary Super Saiyan form. Now, Broly by this point would then turn into a Super Saiyan, but he can control the power. He would then overpower Kale, shooting a powerful blast. Broly, in a burst, would then swell massively in size, turning into his legendary form. Using this sudden power boost, he would then knock Kale out of the ring. Broly was able to power back down, relaxing. This is when this would pique Jiren's interest. Broly's power was very interesting. He was like a wild beast. He would then step up to Broly, and this is the legendary fight that we've never seen before between Broly and Jiren. The two would begin fighting each other, Broly noticeably adapting much faster than Goku did against Jiren. Jiren would begin using more of his power, overpowering the Saiyan. Broly would have no choice, as he would then turn into his legendary form, attacking Jiren head on. Jiren was at shock with how strong this Saiyan brute was, as he's only growing stronger. Jiren would be pushed into a corner as Broly would overpower him. This would then cause Jiren to go into his limit-breaking form, and the two would begin clashing, destroying the whole arena. Now, Toppo would then try to jump in to tag team on top of Broly, but it was too strong. Toppo was blown out of the way, as then you're going to be having Bardock actually fighting Toppo. Now, Vegeta would also be fighting people like Dispo, and he would even fight Hit as well, having a rematch. Vegeta would be on his own. Bardock would then actually be able to tap into Blue Evolution, finding strength his own way, as he would kind of follow Vegeta's route in a little way, tapping into it out of a need, and having Blue Evolution, he would be able to overpower Toppo and defeat him. Vegeta would see this, as Vegeta himself would then push his limits as well, and be able to catch up to Bardock, tapping into Blue Evolution himself. He would actually be able to overpower Dispo, even in his light speed mode, and Hit at the same time, being able to defeat them. Now, Caulifla was by herself. Now, by this point, since they're both the girls would be knocked off, there's no Kefla. So Cabba's by himself. He would be in Super Saiyan 2, unlocking it, but he would be knocked off. So Universe 6 is pretty much cooked. Now, with Broly fighting Jiren, it was a death match. Those two were going crazy at it, and Broly was only continuing to grow stronger. Broly knows that he cannot stay in the fight anymore because he can't stop himself. So the best way to do it is to take Jiren with him. Broly would then grab Jiren from behind in a tackling bear hug. He would then fall with Jiren outside of the ring, as both of them would then be tapped out. Jiren was really angry that he lost, and that Saiyan brute defeated him like that. Broly calmed down by that point, shrinking. Beerus was very impressed that he was able to have some sort of thought process in that form. It's a good step, and he really does thank him. Belmod was scared because 3 of his top fighters just lost, and with the other fighters being knocked out, fortunately, all the other universes would have no chance. Even if you have Asmarath, unfortunately it's not enough, because Goku and the others would then teamed up, defeating him. This is when Universe 7 would win. Mainly, Bardock would probably, being the oldest, would be tagged with the team leader. He would then wish for all the universes to be brought back that were destroyed, thus bringing peace. Now, with the Moro arc first, the Moro arc would be very interesting, but it would kind of follow the same principle. You would have Bardock being able to help Vegeta, and he would even meet the Ardrat people again. Broly was there as well. And yeah, unfortunately, Moro would be on the losing end. Fortunately, was just too strong. So unfortunately, Moro would have been defeated. Even if Goku tapped into True Ultra Instinct, he would have defeated Moro. Fortunately, Moro has no chance. There's just too many strong Saiyans around to really be messing with Moro. Moro just doesn't have a chance. Now, if we're going to cut forward again, even past the Granola arc, Granola would still wish to become the most powerful being, which he does. He does have a shorter lifespan than before. Now, you could say he would try to get revenge on Frieza. He's not, since he's still dead, so there's no Black Frieza as well. So, this would mean that Granola would still be used by the Heaters, just like Gas and all them would still use him to basically destroy the Saiyans, because Gas knows that Bardock is still alive. So, this is when we're going to be having Granola fighting Goku and Vegeta first, and after when Broly steps in, same with Bardock, Granola would be overpowered. Goku knows how to tap into True Ultra Instinct, Vegeta knows how to tap into Ultra Ego by this point, and Broly is able to learn to control his legendary form. Bardock by this point would be fighting Gas. Now once when Gas makes his final wish, he would then overpower Goku and Vegeta and Broly, being even stronger. Because remember, Frieza one-shot Gas. Now they can't do that here, there's no Frieza to kill him. So, with all of them defeated, Bardock would then fight Gas to the death, as it was a rematch of how it was all those years ago. Gas was overpowering Bardock easily, as how can Bardock keep up? Now, this is when Bardock, I feel like just like his son, would then tap into a power. Bardock would then begin pushing his power even higher with the help of Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta would have then recovered by this point as they were healed. Remember that. Broly was also healed as well. Bardock was struggling to hold off, even with the Saiyan spirit that boosted his power to make sure that his son will survive. Even increasing his Super Saiyan Blue Evolution strength even higher, it was not enough. So Goku and Vegeta do have an option. They would then do the fusion dance in their max forms, using the two powers together, becoming Ultra Gogeta if you want. He would then easily one-shot Gas just like before, and then the fusion timer would then shortly run out as it was too much strength. Now that Gas was defeated, what about the superhero movie? Now, you would be having Bardock being the great-grandfather of Pan, and Piccolo mainly, but we're going to give Piccolo and Gohan the limelight. They would still unlock their forms, so Gohan here would have unlocked the Beast form. Now, we don't know if it is mixed with the Mystic form, but just for fun and giggles, Gohan would unlock the Beast form either way, because he's a Saiyan acting more like a human. So, this theoretically means that could potentially humans tap into this form? We don't know. But now Piccolo would still get his orange form, and they would still defeat Cell Max. Thus, Gohan would begin training in his Beast form to fight Goku and Vegeta, and pretty much there would be peace across the entire universe. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for this series. It was a lot of fun. I love doing it. Anyway, get this channel to 20,000 subscribers. We're only like 180 something away from recording this video. Come on, 180, we can do it. And we're gonna break 20,000. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later.